Now we go on to John Sessions. Again, an advertisement for you to do. And it's an advertisement, please, for crash helmets, but in the style of this music now.
She's bright, she's young, it's 1955, and she's wearing the brand new crash helmet. Here she is now, arriving at the Dominion Theatre. There is Jack Hawkins talking away briefly with Alec Guinness. Valerie Hobson has also arrived. My word, that's a lovely outfit she's got, especially she gets onto the Kawasaki bike. No, it's a Harley Davidson. It's a Harley Davidson, and John Mills is a lovely smile there from Sir John as he gets into his tight black leather and also puts on a rather exciting crash helmet. The sort of crash helmet the stars of the 50s are always wearing a clear cigarette, very lightly in the right hand, have to have upon their heads. But the dresses are very wide for the girls, of course, that very white, splayed Doris Day look, but they look rather splendid in it, especially when the crash helmets are on their heads.
Superb. 20 points for John Sessions, who'll stay at the microphone for the next game, which is called The Great Debate. Another round called The Great Debate. The contestants are all going to debate a subject, and this is your subject team. It's going to be capital punishment. But now we want some names of various characters who could be debating such a subject. I mean, it could be estate agents, megalomaniacs, manic depressives, any one of those sort of suggestions. That's all. Psychopaths, so that's one. We write down psychopaths. I'll allocate that to one of the people in a minute. Oh, we've had a lot of children's presenters. At least I have. Insurance salesman. No, we've had children's presentation. All right. Computer programmers and one more. Sex therapist. Sex therapist. That's fine. Sex therapist.
She said
always.
Speech, in fact.
Yeah. Stephen, don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. So, psychopaths. Well, I think John Bird, could you be a psychopath? Could John Sessions be a computer programmer? Jimmy Mulville, insurance salesman, representing them. And sex therapists, or speech therapists, if you insist upon not getting laughs.
Sex is fine, I mean. Just can't get my tongue around
Fry.
Sorry.
So what I'm going to do is get you debating this topic, and I'll dodge around amongst you, bring you in ad lib, or at whim, or somewhere.
It's about capital punishment.
It's about capital punishment, yes. People with long memories will remember that. Jimmy, you look as though you want to start this round off.
No, I was clapping my hand.
Foolishly clapping your hand together and saying me, 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 me. So, Jimmy Mulville, as an insurance salesman, starting off the great debate on capital punishment.
Well, the policy wouldn't actually cover death by hanging by the neck, but if you could sort of set fire to yourself on the way up the scaffold, then you'd be fully covered for the...
John Sessions.
Well, the Balinese have got a type of disc now, which if you put it in the machine, you can do it for miles away. None of you don't have any of this problem of, black sack on your head or anything like that.
John Bird.
I think it's entirely wrong that the state should take it upon themselves to end persons' lives. I would quite like to do it personally myself, and I think if people...
You know, darlings, I hear all the time. Always, they say to me, about the hanging... Listen, I tell you a secret. No, listen, it doesn't matter if you're well hung or not. No, it doesn't matter.
John Sessions.
You can have maybe an apple or a wang there, right up on the block, and you can chop the head off. You take the head, you take the basic data that's in the head, you can process it. So even though he's dead, you can use him for all sorts of things.
Jimmy.
And we would actually cover this with the hang 'em high policy. Now, this rope that we actually provide with the service is in fact very good. It comes in 4 sizes, and we would recommend that you have the whole family done in one go.
Well, that's a fair enough way of doing it.
John Bird, I was pointing at.
I think that hanging is something that ought to be thought about a lot. I think about it a lot, personally. I dream about it. And, in fact, here's my mother, you can just see, with the rope marks around her neck. And poor old dear, but she was a good mother to me, but now she's dead.
No, if you want to wrap yourself up in ropes and things, it doesn't matter. All that matters really in the end is that you buy my book. It doesn't matter how.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. Well, 10 points each there. And we now amazingly come to the last game of the night. At least for my night, anyway. And it's called Commiserations. Now, the idea of this game is that I've just broken up with my long-standing girlfriend. I wouldn't tell my wife if I were you. And the contestants, if I were me, in fact, and the contestants are going to come along with the sort of the worst possible people or the worst possible ways to console me. And they're just going to do that ad-lib as they want, just as the fancy takes them. So don't all rush. And I'll award points if I feel like it.
Well, Clive, there are plenty more fish in the sea, aren't they? Not many more girls, though, but...
I mean, honestly, Clive, take it from all of us here. She wasn't much good in bed, was she?
Well, you see, losing a girl, I mean, you know, it's one thing, but if you've lost a cat... or a pet you're fond of, it's far more important. I mean, you can't take a girl for a walk, really, can you? You know.
I think it's the best thing that's ever happened for you, that, you know, Jane leaving you. I think at last you can discover your true sexuality, Clive.
Hear, hear.
Well, I think she's much better off with me anyway.
You see, now you can build all the things around the house you were not able to get on with.
I mean, but look on the bright side, Clive. I mean, you know, we all agreed that for those 14 years, she didn't sweat much for a fat girl. We'll cut that one out, that's all right.
Well, look at it this way. I mean, with so many sexually transmitted diseases about now...
Which apparently she had.
Not just apparently, either.
But the thing you've got to remember is she's gone, okay? You still got your own body.
Well, that surprisingly productive round ends our show for tonight. I'll just give 10 points all round apart from to Jimmy Mulville. Which means... Oh, this is incredibly exciting. This memory is always rather dramatic. And it means that John Bird has won. So a big round of applause, John. And what that means is that John Bird will be given the right to read the credits at the end of the show, and we'd like him to read the credits in the manner of a high-up BBC official, perhaps the Director General himself. Well, that's the end of Whose Line Is It Anyway? So this is me, Clive Anderson, saying good night. Good night.
Whose Line Is It Anyway featured Stephen Fry, John Sessions, John Bird and Jimmy Mulville. In the chair was Clive Anderson. The show was devised and compiled by Mark Levison with what's this word? The producer Dan Patterson. He's for the chop.